Hi everyone! Welcome back to Isolated Live Theatre. My name is Dana Hudson and I'm one of the co-founders of Ethereal Theatre. I'm going to be your MC throughout the entire time we are in quarantine, bringing you live performances every Tuesday to Saturday of non-stop content. I'm thrilled to announce again, for those who went with us yesterday with Scott Folan from Be More Chill, that we are partnering with Age UK from Kensington and Chelsea. They are going to be streaming this out to about 7,000 people all over the age of 65. So we are delighted to have you if any of you are watching this live stream today. Thank you so much for taking part to all the performers. Thank you so much to everyone who's in the audience. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in our first guest of the night. And we have the lovely Joanna Clarke with us. Hi, Joanna.
Hi.
Hi there. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, very good. And can I ask how many monologues you are doing for us today in this monologue slam?
I have got two.
Two monologues? Okay, no problem. And which one are you going to start with?
So I've got one classical, one Shakespeare to kick things off, which is a Juliet monologue, and then I've got a contemporary one from a play called How to Date a Feminist by Samantha Ellis. So, yeah.
Perfect. We've got Amy in the audience watching, who's on later. Hi, Amy. We've also got Abby, who I say hi to as well. Whenever you're ready, I'll let you go, Joanna.
Thank you.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus's lodging. Such a wagonette as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap into these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or, if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood, baiting in my cheeks with thy black mantle, till strange love grown bold think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come, thou day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. And though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day, as is the night before some festival, to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. My mum taught me a lot of stuff, like blue and green should never be seen, or blue and black, or brown and grey. And to blot lipstick 3 times, to jump into perfume, and never bake when you've got your period because the cake won't rise. And then she read Germaine Greer, and she left. Yep, a female eunuch. It was my copy. She found it in my school bag and stayed up all night reading it, and the next morning she found herself a lawyer. Dad thought she'd gone mad. He thought they were happy. He thought they'd be married forever. And I'd be married to an accountant and live in Hendon and have them over every Friday night. All the accountants are married. They all married the girls they used to hang out with at the bagel store. I was going to Camden, and they were changing the lyrics of Yellow Submarine to "We all live in a house in Golders Green." Now they all have 10-year-olds. I was just so desperate not to end up in the kitchen like my mum. I never learned to cook. I totally shot myself in the foot. I live on picnic food. I don't remember the last time I had a hot meal. I think I'd be a better feminist if I could fend for myself. And the journalism? I wanted a job that was about finding things out and telling people about them. Being curious. I didn't realise it would be so cynical, or I would be fighting over semicolons, or everyone would be trying to push me into the lifestyle pages because that's what women write about. Lois Lane didn't have to put up with this stuff. Are you where you thought you'd be?
That was amazing, Joanna. Well done.
I thank everyone watching. It's a very novel experience, but thank you so much.
That's all right. If we have any questions for Joanna, you can fire them off now in the comments, or we'll just chill around for a little bit. That's all right.
And yeah, just want to say, everyone watching, thank you so much, and to Ethereal Theatre as well. Yeah, this is great.
Thank you. I've got a question. What made you choose the second monologue?
So, I actually became familiar with this play when we went to see the MA. I was on the MA course at Art Ed a couple of years ago. That's how I know Mark, who's your co-founder. And one of the parents did this movie from this play, and I was like, oh, that's a really interesting play. So I read it. This monologue actually sort of pieces together, lots of different facts together. I really like the fact that it's talking. It deals with sort of modern day dating, how whether you can be a feminist but also follow more traditional etiquette, and there's a lot of kind of intergenerational stuff as well in terms of, are we less feminist than our mothers or grandmothers, or are we more feminist? And I like that there's a lot of grey area there that you could. I listen to a podcast with The Guilty Feminist. I'm sure other people listen to it as well, but I really relate to that idea of, am I a good feminist or not? That exploring that question. So yeah, that's why I chose it.
Yeah, completely. No problem. We've just got some praise coming in for you here from everyone.
Thanks, guys.
We've just got a couple more minutes. Do you have any sort of shameless plugs you'd like to do while you're on, Joanna?
Well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Clark Joanna. I was really lucky actually to do a show earlier this year, which is a Beckett trio of Beckett shorts. So that was the last thing that I was in this year at Broccoli Jack. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this year brings. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Shakespeare as well. I really wanted to get classical in there. I did some secondary school tours doing Shakespeare and playing Juliet, who I love. So nice excuse to share that one with you.
Have you done Romeo and Juliet, or is it just a speech that you really love from there?
So I did it on a secondary school's tour. So we actually did Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth with the Guildford Shakespeare Company. So 4 actors doing 2 shows, lots of multi-rolling. But yes, I've done that twice with them actually, so I got to go back and do Juliet again. I hope I will get to do her, play her again in the future as well, because yeah, there's a lot to explore with her.
It's one of those iconic roles, isn't it, really?
Yeah, that was interesting because we did a slightly abridged version, so some of the lines in the speech were cut out, and then revisiting it, I was like, oh yeah, that line. So it's quite fun to go back and revisit Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you have, what's your dream role to play? What's like a monologue or a role that you're just like, need that in my life.
God. I don't really know. I mean, there are so many Shakespeares that I love. I'd love to do.
I put you on the spot, haven't I?
Iona or Rosalind, you know, one of those. One of those kind of gender reversing characters. But I'd also, I mean, I'd love. Those of you who know me know that I'm a bit of a history nerd. I did history at university, so I love the history plays, and I would love to tackle one of those male like king roles. I know a lot of companies have been gender flipping it, so I'd love to do, you know, Henry V or Richard III or something. I'd love to do one of the histories. And,
That's great. We've got a request there for spotlights and show reels to go to Mike Willoughby. So send those off, everyone, if you've got a show reel. If you've got spotlight CV, I do know Mike is actually a film producer, so send all those over to him.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's all right. And we've got another one from Nemo there. What's your answer? Okay. I think that's all we've got time for, Joanna. I'm going to let you go. All right, it's been absolutely lovely having you on. Thank you so much for doing those monologues for us.
Thank you guys for having me, and thank you for watching as well. It means a lot.
That's all right, no problem. Okay, we'll just see if there's anything else going to come through on the chat.
Looking forward to watching everyone else.
Yeah. And I'll let you go.
Awesome, thank you. Bye.
Bye, Anna.
Bye.
Justin. That was the lovely Joanna Clarke that we had there. So next coming up is going to be Lou KENDON-ROSS. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you guys a quick little ad break, just one of our AGK videos, while I give her a call and try and get her all set up. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here we go.
The great danger for ex-servicemen is loneliness, particularly if you lose your partner. Probably one of the biggest causes of me feeling lonely was when I lost her. You are then stuck between the same four walls, the same drab television. You listen to music, but you don't respond because you are not in human company. That very often leads to a spiral of depression if you're not prepared to get out and go out with people. Age UK provides you with a reason for getting out, having a shave, a shower, shampoo, clean your shoes, get dressed in best casuals and get out and smile with people. Because you're in company and you hear different points of view, different experiences, it arouses your curiosity again. And you want to know about things. You're not just sort of sitting back and coasting along, you want to live. Joining forces, it's like being back in a unit. No questions are asked about which service you're in, whether it was the Territorial Army, the Home Guard, Merchant Navy, whatever it is, get in there and get stuck into them because they're a good bunch to be with.
Okay, and I've been joined by Lou KENDON-ROSS, who is our next performer. Hi Lou, you're live with me.
Hi Dana, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you today? Are you enjoying it so far? I see you've been watching along.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Jo was amazing. I really enjoyed her two monologues.
Definitely. And how many monologues have you got for us today?
I'm doing just the one today.
No problem, just the one. And I will let you go whenever you're ready, and over to you.
I'm ready. I've been ready since yesterday morning. It was long enough before anybody came near. I had a bacon sandwich, which Scott went and fetched for me while I was under the dryer. I said, wasn't there a croissant? He said, in Lyon's Salette. On tests, there were croissants. On tests, we had filter coffee. There was also some liaison. I wanted to talk to somebody about the part, only Scott said they were all up on the speedboat doing some new shots of the coastline. On tests, we were never sitting around. Roman anticipated every eventuality. We filmed in the middle of a forest once, and the toilet arrangements were immaculate. There was also provision for a calorie-controlled diet. I said to Scott, I'm not used to working like this. He said, let's face it, dear, you're not used to working. Why didn't you bring your knitting? I said, I do not knit, Scott. He said, well, file your nails then, pluck an eyebrow, be like me, do something constructive. He's as thin as a rail and apparently an accomplished pianist. It seems to be makeup as well as wardrobe. On Tess, we had 3 caravans for makeup alone. Anyway, I'm still sitting there, hours later, and Simon eventually pops his head round the door. I said, hello, Simon. I said, long time no see. Did Nigel tell you I've learnt chess? He said, chess? Aren't you the one who can water ski? I said, no. He said, bugger, and disappeared. I said to Scott, Simon's on the young side for a director. He said, director? He couldn't direct you to the end of the street. Well, who is the director? I said. He said, Gunther. I said, Gunther? That sounds continental. He said, yes, German. I said, that's interesting. I went to Germany once, Dusseldorf. He said, well, you'll have a lot to talk about. I have a feeling Scott may be gay. I normally like them, only I think he's one of the ones that's turned bitter. I'm still sitting there waiting, hours later, and Nigel pops his, another fella pops his head in the door. I said, Gunter? He said, no, Nigel. I said, oh, we spoke on the phone. He said, yes, I'm about to have a heart attack. I've just been told you don't water ski. I said, Nigel, I could learn. I learnt to skateboard in 5 minutes. He said, precious 5 minutes we do not have. You don't by any chance have fluent French? I said, no, why? He said they've wondered about making her French. I said, Nigel, how can they make her French when she's called Travis? Travis is not a French name. He said the name isn't important. I said, it is to me. It's all I've got to build on. He said, I'll get back to you. I said, Nigel, I don't have French, but what I do have is a smattering of Spanish. Would that work? He said, I'll get back to you. There we go. Sorry, went slightly wrong at the end there, but there you go. A little bit of Alan Bennett. I think the technology, it's a bit... Oh, you're welcome. It was fun. I did Alan Bennett's Her Big Chance years ago at a theatre in Boston, which was amazing. And I think it's always difficult to choose monologue because there's so many out there, so many good ones to choose. And I thought, I like that one. It's fun. It was obviously just a little excerpt from it. It's something I like, so I thought, well, I'd give it a go.
No, definitely. I mean, you always want to do things that you find a connection to, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Alan Bennett.
Definitely an icon. So I happen to know you went to Arts Ed.
I did, yes. I did.
What was the best or sort of the most biggest sort of life lesson you'd say you've learned from doing a course like Arts Ed?
Oh, wow. Well, I think I feel like that's kind of 2 questions. I think the best thing is the friends I made and the contacts that I got, professionally and personally. I think the biggest thing that I learned was learning things about myself, as opposed to, obviously I learned a lot about acting and about the industry and about the craft. But I think the biggest thing I learned was things about myself. Learn to like myself a bit more, which is, you know, that's never a bad thing, is it?
No, never. No, it's really important. We've just got some comments saying what a good speech that is for you there. Perfect.
Yeah.
So we've got Mumo again saying, Lou, that is fantastic. That's a perfect part for you.
Oh.
And we've got some clap hands from Titan Galaxy there.
Oh.
That's no problem. And Amy, who's still following with us, said that was gorgeous.
Thank you.
That's all right. And we've just got Kai popping on there, who said loves it, happy memories.
Well, Kai was actually the director of the show when I did it in Boston many moons ago.
There you go then. Hi Kai, it's nice to have you join us on the stream. And have you got anything you want to plug, anything while you're live on the air that's maybe coming up, or any projects you're working on?
Nothing to plug at the moment, but you know, if there's anyone that wants to connect, you know, collaborations are always good. Directors, casting directors, fellow actors, I'm always happy to connect, chat in, you know, sort of whatever way. But no, nothing specific to plug at the moment.
That's all right. We don't always need to plug. I think you really have such a naturalness whenever you perform that I really love.
Oh, thanks, Dana. Thank you.
Amazing. No, so if anyone does obviously want to send through any sort of CVs, and of course we are always looking for week 2 that we have on as well, so we'll be doing another monologue slam back on week 2 of this as well, so the same time, same day, just next week, so next Wednesday. So if any of you watching do want to submit, just drop us an email at Ethereal Theatre and we'll be able to hook you right up like all these guys here. And does anyone have any other... That's all right. And does anyone have any other questions for Lou? We'll just wait while they tick in.
Okay.
We've got Gillian Byrne saying, so lovely, Lou, perfect for you. Everyone loves you doing this monologue.
Thanks, Gillian.
All right. I've got a question for you. How many monologues would you say is good to have prepared in the industry? Sort of, would you say sort of have a select ones you go for, keep sort of them on the back burner? What would you
I feel like the industry's changed quite a lot. I think often you tend not to, other than perhaps for drama school, you tend not to be asked to, or I personally haven't been asked for quite a long time to go onto an audition with a prepared monologue. It's often, you know, it's a lot self-taped now, or something specific that they want you to prepare in the room. But I think it's always nice to have a couple, definitely a classic, definitely a contemporary, kind of in your arsenal, if at all possible.
Definitely, I agree. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Joanna. What is your dream role? Or it don't have to be Shakespeare, but it can be if you want to.
Oh, wow. Okay, my dream Shakespeare role. I mean, it's a cliche, but I would love to play Lady Macbeth. It's a wonderful role. I'd also like to play Lady Percy. I think that's a wonderful role as well. And Bianca from Othello. I played that part at drama school, and I'd really like to play that part.
Oh,
outside Shakespeare. Oh, who knows? There's just so much incredible work out there. It's hard to choose, isn't it?
Definitely. And just one final question. Oh, we've got Kai who's asking, how was Edinburgh?
Oh, Edinburgh was amazing. Thank you. It's hard work. I took a show up there called Hitman and Her, which was a two-hander, which was fantastic.
Nice.
Edinburgh was amazing. More tiring than you think it's going to be, but then you probably stay out in pubs and bars later than you should. There's just so many lovely people there that you don't want to go home.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you.
What would you say is the number one thing you have to do if you're at the Edinburgh Fringe?
Eat well and make sure that, sorry, this is more one thing, isn't it? And make sure that if you really are feeling tired, or you just think, right, I just need a break, listen to your body, and make sure that you go and get that break, because it is so long, especially if you're up there for the whole month. It's awesome.
Definitely. It's such about looking care of
As you know yourself.
Yeah, it's so much about taking care of yourself the whole time you're in Edinburgh, even if you're hobbling down the streets, like I was one year. I always say you can't miss a good night out, though. As much as it's about looking after yourself, you want to make sure you're having a little bit of fun while you're there.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we've just got Doug, who said, lovely to see you, Lou.
Oh, thank you, Doug. Doug's one of the PQA principals.
Okay, I think if we don't have any more questions, I'll just give them a couple minutes where we can just relax, see if they come through, and then I can let you go.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on and being with us today.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I was slightly distracted because I'm currently deaf in one ear. I don't quite know why, but it's making everything weird. It feels like I'm underwater the whole time at the moment, which is a little bit odd.
Oh, bless you. Okay, I think that's all we've got through, so I'm going to say goodbye to you, Lou.
Bye, Dana. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye. So that was Lou, who's just left us. We're just going on to another little ad break for a moment while I call up the next person. We are going to be joined by my fellow co-founder, the amazing MARC ZAYAT. So let me get him on while you guys just enjoy another quick little advert.
Wet your hands with water. Apply soap. Rub your hands palm to palm and wash the backs of both hands and in between your fingers. Then palm to palm with fingers interlocked. Clasp your hands together and rub. And then clean around the thumbs too. Rub your fingertips on the palms of your hands and finish off with the wrists. Rinse your hands really well with water and dry them thoroughly with a paper towel. Use the towel to turn off the tap. Your hands are now clean.
Hi. Can you hear me? Hi.
Here's MARC ZAYAT, everyone. On with me. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Long time no speak.
No, it's only been like 2 minutes probably since we last spoke during this. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm a little bit nervous because I'm going to try out something today. I'm going to try out a new monologue suggested by yours truly.
That's all right. It's always just a working space as well, so don't worry too much. You're more than welcome to trial things out with us. Also, if you do want to come back, if you've performed once already, why not join us next week? Prepare a new monologue, try something out, see what happens. Join us. Keep coming back. We don't mind routine slots. The more the merrier. We can keep this going for hours and hours of live streams. We'll do our own Mandy monologue competition.
Yes.
Okay, and how many monologues have you got for me today?
So I'm going to do two. One is work in progress. The first one is Juniper and Alice Birch, which is from Many Moons, which is what you suggested me.
Yep.
And the second one is Shakespeare. It's going to be Brutus from Julius Caesar.
Love that play. My favourite Shakespeare. Okay, and I'm going to hand it over to you whenever you're ready.
Great, thank you. Is this thing on? Oh, I'm on. Okay. All right, here we go. Hi, guys. I am looking for love. Like, I'm actively looking for love. One of those traffic light parties where you wear red if you're unavailable, or amber if you might be, or green if you definitely are. Well, I'm on green, like, consistently. I think sometimes my heart would fall out of my rib cage and fall to my feet, the pace at which it beats. I like a lot of things. I mean, I love a lot of things. I get pretty excited about food and films and food and friends and hanging out and food. I like Facebook a lot. I mean, I have it as an app on my phone, and I sort of hate that I do, just because I think of myself as quite an artsy person, you know, a bit of a free spirit even. And I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but if you knew me, you wouldn't think it was so. I'm a bit cartwheely, a bit of a free spirit, you know. Once I got on a train without buying a ticket or knowing where I was going, and sat next to a stranger and chatted the whole way. What else do I want to say? I say I'm a feminist, but I probably wouldn't say it in front of a partner. I don't think it's really sexy, is it? I'd like to do more stuff like volunteer. But there is a shelter next to my house for women, and I think I'd be really good at it because I think I can emphasize and empathize with people. There was one time that this single mum was on X Factor, and she was just really low on self-esteem and really emotional, and she had the most beautiful voice. Well, she had a lovely voice. She had a voice. But I cried. I was sobbing. I was absolutely sobbing, and I really felt for her, you know? Okay, that was my first one. That's a work in progress. I learned that today, and I really enjoyed that one. Thank you, Dana, for the suggestion. I'm now going to do some Julius Caesar. Quick costume change, here we go. Boy. Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath in death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, not butchers. We will all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. But in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, then that we can come by Caesar's spirit, but not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar will bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the god, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants in an act of rage. And after, they seem to chide them. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which is so appearing to the common eye. And as for Mark Antony, think not for him, as he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off. Okay. That is me.
Well done there, Mark. Just bringing you on with me. Well done. We've got some people loving it in the comments. We've got everyone loving your costume change. We've got Chris Porter on who says, "Woo, that was great, Mark." So you have supported there. Elliot Ferris says, "Yes, costume change." And my mother, who's also watching, also is living for the costume changes. And then so is Amy, so lots of love for that. You can do absolutely anything you want during these monologue slams. Get up, run about, do whatever you want, go crazy.
Yeah.
We don't mind. We will welcome all of it. It's live stream. It's live theatre. So, Mark, your first monologue, it was for a female, technically.
Yes, it was.
What made you decide to go for a female monologue today?
Because me and you have been talking about sort of playing with gender reverse roles in some of our future roles, and it's absolutely exciting and fun, and I'd love to reveal what I have in my mind right now, but we can't yet. But I wanted to play with that, and I love the fact that you can pick up a text and it doesn't have to have a specific gender to that text.
Lovely. I love that. We have Amy saying fabulous. Well done, lovely. We've got some actorum in the house with us today. We've got Abby Ratcliffe saying, yay, that was great. We have Lucy Capel saying, hey, I'm here.
Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much to everyone who's joining this stream. And Mark, why Brutus of all the Shakespeares?
Why Brutus?
Why Brutus?
Because he's so complex and people actually overlook Brutus. But he isn't. He shouldn't be overlooked. He's so complex and he's so important to that story. And I just love the way Shakespeare uses Brutus and the text and the comparisons between stuff in that text is absolutely lovely. And it's so fresh even to this day. So fresh.
No, definitely. You're definitely right with that. So you've done quite a few roles since graduating from drama school. What is your favourite role or production you've been part of to date?
I have been actually thinking about this, and I love all the roles that I've done from drama school. There's not one that I've not enjoyed. I did love playing in Bigger People with KENDON-ROSS Theatre Company and the local group. That was a really revolutionary show in a work in progress called Bigger People. And I also I loved playing Otis in Sweet, which was with Box Clever Theatre Company, and that was a tour later last year, near the end of the year, which was so fantastic. It went into schools, and the secondary school children really engaged with it and responded to it really well. And over the summer, I've played a lot of animals for some reason, but the most recent was over Christmas. I got to play Crow and Kai in The Snow Queen, which was really fun to play something and sing some songs, and multi-role.
Nice, very nice. And Little Birdie says that you recently got to go to Dubai as well, even. Very fancy.
I did go to Dubai. I went to Dubai earlier in the year with a show called Joyce, which was a family show. We did it at the Sharjah Fringe, and it was absolutely just fantastic to do, and I really enjoyed it. And it was a great cast, a great crew. It was a fantastic trip that I will not forget anytime soon.
And preparing sort of to go on in another country, say for instance, was there anything you found sort of different, or anything that kind of became unexpected that you kind of weren't prepared for, that you had to learn, for anyone who gets roles in different countries and travels, tours in future?
I think it's because we were we were obviously in the United Arab Emirates, and theatre isn't a staple figure in that country as it is here in the UK. So a lot of the families or schools that were coming to the theatre were unaware of theatre etiquette, so I guess it was a kind of culture shock for them and for us. But as the festival went on to Sharjah Fringe, it really picked up, and they really started to respond well and listen and start to learn the new habits. So it was actually a really fantastic and interesting experience.
Nice, very nice. And let's just see if any more comments come in for a little bit. We can just chill for a little while. Ooh. Mark has also been helping me. I'm sure lots of you guys who are forming, that are lined up, have been scheduling and talking more to Mark than they've been talking to, say, me, for instance. So Mark's also done a huge amount of prep and work into making Isolated Live Theatre what it is, and coordinating with all those people. So a big thank you to him as well. everyone.
Oh, thank you, but you've done just as much work as me, so thank you to you.
Aw, cute. And is there anything you want to plug? I know there's some things we can't plug yet, but is there anything that you do want to sort of share, even if it's just, follow me or anything?
I don't have anything to share other than please keep watching, tell your friends and family about Isolated Live Theatre, let them know about it, if they want to perform, get them to message us, follow us on Instagram on Ethereal Theatre, and start engaging, because we really want to get access to those people who are the most vulnerable in our society.
No, definitely we do. And we are so lucky to be partnering with Age UK and to have that reach as well going on. But the more people we can reach with all this, the better.
Yes, a massive thank you to Abby Radcliffe, who is helping us get that connection with Age UK.
Thank you, Abby.
Yes.
Perfect. And just one final question before I'll let you zip off again. Stage or screen?
Can I say both?
No.
I would say, because I've done more stage than screen since graduating, I would say stage, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I haven't asked you what your dream role is.
My dream role in the future will have to be King Lear, the self in King Lear.
Lots of Shakespeare coming through today. I like it.
Yeah, it has to be.
Nice. Why King Lear? What? Amy says, what a question.
What a question. Is it why, are you asking why King Lear, or?
I'm asking why King Lear.
Why King Lear? Because it is arguably, for me personally, the best role, the most complex role, the most fun role for an actor to sink their teeth into. But also I feel like I'm really, really excited to play him, because I'm not of that age yet to successfully do it. But I've been obsessed with King Lear since I first picked up that play.
Nice. Okay, we'll just wait and see if any more comments come in, and then I can let you go.
We should get some elevator music for this bit.
I think we should. Let me see if I can find some.
We should get some elevator music.
I feel like the Skype little ringtone I have is pretty good.
Do you have a Skype ringtone?
Where it's like bloom, 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 bloom. Go. Questions. Come in. I'll keep that going. I like that. We've got a new feature now. Okay, Mark, I'm going to let you head off.
Okay.
It was lovely to have you. Thank you so much for coming on and for learning those.
Thank you to all the performers who've passed. They've been amazing. Can't wait to see the rest of them.
Yes, no, keep watching, everyone. We have lots more coming up. We still have 4 more people to go.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. There we go. That was Mark Zaya, everyone. So you've guessed it, it's time for another little ad break while I'm just calling our next guest. Our next guest is Sarah Green, who is going to be coming to us live from Hong Kong. So how exciting is that? So just another quick ad break, and then we'll be back with our next Monologue Slam performer. I'll see you all very soon.
Caring for your mental health is important. You cannot help someone else if you are in pieces.
It can affect your appetite, your sleep patterns, your relationships with other people.
I could not talk about my own mental health without getting choked up.
So we know from research that older people are less likely to talk about their mental health.
I don't think that my mind was open to the fact that I might have a mental health problem.
Talking to a professional is the way forward. It was the beginning of my journey back.
Now I can talk openly about my experience.
It's important that you realise that you aren't alone.
And we're just trying to get Sarah with us. We just think it might be a little bit of a connection thing as she's coming all the way from Hong Kong. So if anyone does have any questions in the comments, I'm just going to let the chat sort of roll for a little bit while we try and connect with her. If not, we'll see what we can do in terms of bringing someone else on in the meantime. So yeah, I'm going to pop my elevator music back on. Just I don't want double feeds coming in. That's all right. Jessie and Sarah. I'll give it a couple minutes, and if we can't get through, I'll see if we can move Pete up a bit earlier. If not, then that's no problem. Sorry about this, guys. Will you get a monologue from me? Hopefully once this is a bit more sort of calm down and everything, I'll be able to do a monologue for you all. Hopefully one of the monologue slams coming up. I hope so. I was planning to do actually one of the exercise classes tomorrow, but I think just while we're sorting out this whole MC thing, it's a bit easier for me to just chill, do my little radio presenter thing for the meantime until we get going again, really. So yeah, for those of you who may not know, I'm going to shamelessly self-plug. I'm also a choreographer, so that's sort of my main thing. I'm an actor and also a choreographer, so if you've ever seen an ethereal production or you plan to in the future, I'm always the movement director or choreographer there. So yeah, I'm available for any kind of acting work and choreography work, and that feels like the most shameless plug I've ever done in my life. But there we go. Since we can't seem to get hold of Sarah, I'm going to see if we can give Pete a call and see if we can bump the line up a little bit. It is 3 AM in Hong Kong, so could potentially be why. Just bear with me a moment, everyone.
Since we can't seem to get hold.
Hello.
Oh, hi there. We've just got Pete on. Hi there, Pete. Are you ready to go on a little bit earlier than expected?
Yes, I guess so.
That's all right, no problem. Can you just pop your little camera on for us, and then everyone will be able to see you?
How's that?
There you go. Perfect. I'll just turn off my elevator music. Perfect. Okay. And hi, Pete.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you today?
Welcome to Kitchen Theatre.
That's all right. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for
Danny's
doing
just making his dinner.
That's all right.
A cup of tea now.
That's all right. Thank you so much for doing this.
That's all right.
We'll just try and bump the schedule around. So we're just going to pop Pete first, and then we'll just pop Sarah on after if we need to. So, how many monologues have you got for us today?
I've got just the one today.
That's all right.
I'm going to do a monologue for you from Road by Jim Cartwright.
Oh, love that play.
And yeah, great writer. He wrote, apart from Road, he also wrote Little Voice, which was made into a film starring Jane Horrocks. And he also wrote Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise, which I won't be doing an extract from, unfortunately, but there you go.
That's all right. No problem, no problem. No, I love Jim Cartwright. He's one of my favourite playwrights of all time. So
Great writer.
Definitely that. Yeah. Okay, I will let you go. So it's going to go to you whenever you're ready.
Okay, so Road, the play, is set in the early 80s. It's set in a deprived town in Lancashire in the height of unemployment. And the play takes place on one night in one town, in one road. And what Jim does is he takes the audience into different houses to meet the different characters that live there. So tonight we're going to meet Jerry. I can't get over it. I can't get over the past, how it was. I just can't. Oh God, I get these strong feelings inside and they're so sad I can hardly stand it. And I can feel one coming now and it's breaking my heart with its strength. And tears are coming into my eyes, and that's because I thought of something from ago. There were such lovely, lovely times though. Such a lilt to them. I go down it when I think. You know, I hate to mention, but that great big silver ball turning there, and all the lights coming off it onto us lot dancing below, and the big band there, and all the lads and girls I knew, all with their own special character, and the way you stood, you know, and you had a cigarette, even lit a cigarette different then. There was some way of doing it. I can't do it now, good thing too, I'd cry my flipping heart out. That's why I never wear Brill cream these days, I can't. National service too, you did. Everybody did. You never complained much then. You never felt like complaining. I don't know why, but national service, we'd all be there. I was in the RAF, soft blue uniform and berry. And when you had a break, you'd lie in your bunk and your mate might lean over and say, "Oi, give us a tab." And when you went on leave home to your hometown, and the weather always seemed a little bit misty, and you'd be walking around familiar streets in your uniform, and everyone had a little something to say to you. And you'd go up to your girlfriend's factory and they'd send up for her, man in uniform to see you. And you'd wait outside and take your cigarettes out your top pocket and light up and stand there in the misty weather in your uniform, full up with something. And everyone was an apprentice something, serving their time, or you could work for more money in the beginning in the warehouses or railways, but it didn't pay off eventually. Be a flyboy selling toys and annuals in the pubs. There were so many jobs then. Do you know, a lot of people, they'd start one in the morning, finish it, start another one in the afternoon, finish that, then go in somewhere else the next day. We had the hit parade, holidays in the Isle of Man and Blackpool. Oh, the lorry. Oh, the lorry, oh. Oh, we all felt special, but safe at the same time. You know, I'm not saying this is right, but girls didn't even go in the pubs. They didn't. At the dance, in the interval, the lads would all go in the pub next door, and the girls would stay behind in the dance floor. And then the lads, they'd all come back, and the girls, oh, so pretty. And I think back, and you went courting in those days. You courted, you walked with them, and they had the cardigans over their arms, and the pictures. Oh, you went twice, 3 times a week, and the stars, the music. Black and white, kissing, sex. I said the word now, and when I said it then, it feels different inside me. I know how it sounds, but it does. I can't get away from the past. I just can't. No matter what they say. I can't see how that time could turn into this time. It's been so horrible for me and so complicated for me, and being poor and no good and no use. I can still see my old friends. The young faces. Turning round and smiling, and I think, who's spoiling life, eh? Me? Us? Them? Or God?
Oh, brilliant.
That was a brilliant monologue there. Ooh.
Thank you. Brilliant bit of writing. Jim can't write.
Definitely.
Jim can write.
Jim can write, yes, as Danny's just added. Thanks.
Definitely. It's a gorgeous monologue, definitely. I've got a question. We've got some comments coming in. Georgina's on and she says, Pico!
Hi, Jill.
Hey there. So how do you go about learning your monologues when you have a big piece of text to learn? What's sort of your process for that?
It's funny because I'm just about to start learning a new one tomorrow, so hopefully you might be able to get that in the next coming week. I split it down into bits, manageable chunks, but then the key for me is reading through, making sure you understand it, and then trying to see the imagery that you're talking about, trying to see what you're describing, because once you can do that, you can kind of connect with it. And once you can connect with it, it's easier to learn, I think.
No, definitely. I think so too. No, definitely. And why Road? Why that monologue?
Two reasons, really. I connect with it partly because, as I said before, it's set in the early 80s during a period of really high unemployment, which, if I remember correctly, was 3.5 million, and I was a youngish lad around that time, and I remember very clearly thinking I'd never work because there weren't any jobs, and it was an awful time. And the other reason, which is connected, is he mentions Blackpool and the Isle of Man, and I came from a seaside town called Rhyl in North Wales. Shout out to Rhyl. And growing up there in the 60s, it was just a fantastic place to live as a young lad, because it was a thriving seaside town. So every week in the summer, you'd get hordes of visitors coming through. And there was a fair amount of industry around it, up and down the Deeside coast. And in the 70s, two things changed that. One was that visitors discovered Spain, where the weather was a lot better, and they also got inside loos. And a lot of the factories closed down. So I remember that feeling very well when it all kind of stopped. All that great time stopped and the work dried up and stuff like that. And so it resonates a lot with me, very, very, very much, and the characters he describes.
No, and you can see that when he comes through. It's such a truthful performance of it. It really does ring that through, definitely. We've got some lovely comments flowing in. Naomi Lowe says, priceless Pico, I loved it. And Lou says, amazing Pete. Lou, who was on earlier, still watching along.
Back at you, Lou. You were great as well.
We have Tom Baker, who says, hello.
Hi, Tom. Doctor Who, that's amazing.
And we've got Mark back, Mimo there, saying, absolutely fantastic performance. Pete always captivates me. Oh, man, I'm teary.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to apologise. The cat, I thought, might make an appearance at some point, but the cat's upstairs, I'm afraid. Make him in a bit later and bite one of us. But, yeah.
That's all right. And then we have Anna Chapman, who says, well done, Pete. Brilliantly done.
Thank you, Anna.
And
Thank you.
We've also got Vanessa Chapman as well, saying, fantastic, you are brilliant. So you've got
Thank you, Vanessa, and shout out to the Reading Massive.
So you've got lots of lovely fans there watching. So Pete, you've also been to ArtSed, as I know. What was your craziest moment while at ArtSed?
We did a play in a toilet, and we had to devise our own plays, and myself and some of the students from ArtSed, well, more of the other students actually, came up with this idea of doing a play in a toilet. So what we did, there was 4 in the cast, and we invited the audience into the toilet, and we performed in the loo with them. And it's a surreal moment in my theatrical career, I must admit.
Definitely. I actually saw that, and you were my favourite performance of the night, you guys.
That's very kind.
So,
Thank you.
There you go.
The other slight downside was in the show I had to eat a bag of crisps, and what I forgot was that we performed 8 times a day. So by the end of it, I could never eat another crisp again.
Oh no. That's brilliant. And has there anything coming up for you that you'd like to plug or sort of give some shameless self-promotion?
Yeah, I've got a film. Well, it's been put on hold like everything, but I've got a film coming out called 83, which is about. It's an Indian film about the cricket team in India. And I never didn't know this. I'm not a massive cricket fan, but in 1983, the Indian cricket team came over to the UK to compete in the World Cup, and they were given absolutely no chance whatsoever. And they went and won the World Cup, which is just an amazing bit of sporting history. And I play the journalist who says they will never win the World Cup, and guess what? They go on and win it. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. Hopefully, when next couple of months, maybe a better luck.
No, that's brilliant. Definitely. Once the industry comes alive again, as we're all waiting for, definitely. Yeah. And just finally, what is your dream role? If you have one.
What's my dream role? I don't know. I mean, just to work, really. Just to perform and be in things. And I'm going to give a shout out for you guys, because I think this is great what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's also great that you're teaming up with Age Concern. And I saw one of the comments when I was looking earlier on about saying that NHS volunteers need actors because they need people to talk to people. So if you haven't already, guys and girls, volunteer for the NHS. They want people to help all sorts of things, driving, talking to people, delivering medicines, whatever it might be, but helping people who are isolated, the older members of the community, whatever you can. And the other thought that I thought was a great idea that we had at our church, which was if you get 2 minutes, write a bit of paper and stick it through the letterbox of a neighbour that you know is you might be isolated or worried or something, just with your name and your phone number on, and saying, look, I'm available if you want to talk or you want to help or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's a great idea as well.
No, there's nothing wrong with getting a little neighbourhood WhatsApp group going.
No.
And all that. No, help where you can, definitely. It's definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to see if any more comments come through for you, Peter, and then I can let you go.
Sure. If Spielberg drops a comment, just give him my number directly, would you?
Sure, no problem. We'll get on that for you. Just pop our little
just a thought, yeah.
Music card. While we're waiting for some comments.
The cat has arrived.
Oh!
Let's see. No, she might do a monologue, she may not, I don't know.
That's alright. We love a pet here.
There you go. There's Del.
Del. Hello, Del.
Del's from Manchester.
Oh.
And she bites. She's going to bite me any second.
That's brilliant. Shout out to Del.
And I can announce officially, this is an exclusive, that my executive producer tonight, Danny Baker, will be doing, not tonight, but on future Ethereal Theatre broadcast, he will be doing a song. I can officially
announce it.
I can officially announce it tonight.
Got the exclusive, everyone.
Yeah. And he's just dropped his coffee cup in the kitchen in shock.
That's no problem. We'll be waiting for you to message us.
Absolutely. I know his agent.
I don't think anyone really wants to do that.
Danny, people will want to. I'm going to introduce Danny quickly to say quickly. This is Danny.
I wasn't dressed up. Hello.
Hello. Hi there. You're live on YouTube.
Oh, great. Amazing. I just sort of watched it live in the room. I was very, very lucky.
Oh, we've got some love for Del coming in on the chat here. We have Mimo saying that's the sweetest cat, and Naomi saying, hi, Del. And then we have Ben Rankin as well saying, Mirror Massive watching. Love Ben R.
Cheers, Ben. Cheers to Mirror Massive.
That's all right. All right,
go and buy newspapers and support your media, because they're also, as well as everyone else, they're having a shocking time on the street tonight about local papers having to close and allow people to rely on these things for our information and media. So support your local paper if you can. Please do.
Definitely. Okay, Peter, I think that's all we've got time for, so I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thank
you very much. Cheers to Ethereal Theatre for the opportunity to perform, and good luck and stay safe to everyone out there.
That's all right. Thank you so much for coming on, Pete.
Pleasure.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Politicians, scientists, and even
Neighbourly volunteering, how you can help older people during the COVID-19 epidemic. Age UK, Age Cymru, Age Scotland and Age Northern Ireland organisations operate many services which support older people to have access to requirements of daily living, should they be less able to leave their homes. While we rely greatly on volunteers to support these services, we do require regular volunteers to complete an application and training process before they begin their role. Depending on the role, this application and training process can take several weeks.
As we know, older people in each of our communities could be in immediate need of basic assistance. We want to encourage you to consider neighbourly volunteering. What is neighbourly volunteering? That's up to you. As a neighbourly volunteer, you're best placed to know who in your area may be in need of some help and what help that might be. It could be someone simply in need of a friendly phone call to help manage isolation. It might be helping with a chore, such as gardening or taking out the bins, or encouraging someone to stay active while at home. You may pick up some shopping or help with errands for someone unable to get out. You could also get creative. How about setting up a book or exercise group over phone or video chat, for example? What do I need to be aware of? Whatever neighbourly volunteering you do, it's important you wash your hands frequently and thoroughly, maintain social distancing, avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth, and stay home if you feel unwell. If you're delivering groceries or other items to someone who is self-isolating, please take extreme care to ensure your hands are clean whilst handling their items. To ensure you're practicing social distancing, it's best to maintain a distance between you and other people, avoid public transportation whenever possible, limit non-essential travel, and skip social gatherings, especially at crowded locations. It is imperative that you stay at home if you have a high temperature or a new continuous cough, as this will help prevent the spread of the infection to vulnerable people. How can I let people know I'm here to help? You may have heard of the hashtag viral kindness postcards created by one neighbourly volunteer. To help you get involved, Age UK has created a neighbourly volunteering version of this with space for your contact details and some additional information for older people. Visit our website to print the postcard, then pop it in the mailbox of your neighbours to let them know you're willing to help. Or, if you know a neighbour's phone number, give them a call. Try to avoid ringing someone's doorbell to deliver your postcard, as many people are practicing social distancing. If someone declines your offer of help, please respect this and don't pressure anyone to accept help.
Hi!
It is also important that you don't seek to profit from the help you offer. What if I want to volunteer in a different way?
Sorry?
If you want to do something a bit different, consider watching our digital buddy training, which teaches you the basics for encouraging an older person to try out a new technology. Digital buddies are helpful year-round, but can be especially useful at present for those who are self-isolating. If you're happy to go through formal training and are interested in an ongoing volunteering role instead, We'd love to hear from you. Visit www.ageuk.org.uk/volunteer to 1. Download your neighbourly volunteering postcard, 2. Find our guide on how to keep safe while self-isolating, 3. Access digital buddy training, or 4. Register your inquiry for an ongoing volunteer role. Thank you for your help in looking out for older people in your community. If you have any questions about neighbourly volunteering, do get in touch with Age UK via our website.
Hello. Hey. Hong Kong's okay. Sorry I'm late. I got the time difference sort of mixed up, so that's fine. So I've got 2 lined up. The first one I've never actually done before, so I'm a little bit nervous about. It's Act 3, Scene 1, Hamlet.
Okay.
Famous movie. And the second one I have is Amelia's scene from Othello between Mary and Desdemona.
Nice, no problem.
Yeah,
That's no worries. We love Shakespeare. I'm going to hand it over to you, and you can go whenever you're ready with your first monologue. Bye.
Thank you. To be or not to be? That's the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die. To sleep no more. And by a sleep is to say we end the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation to be devoutly wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come, when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's respect that gives calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of disprised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merits the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietest make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to groan and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and the native hue of resolution is sicklied over with the pale cast of thought. Okay. That's the end of my first monologue there. So the second one that I have, I hope this isn't too short of a time. But the second one I have is from Othello, and it is the scene between Emilia and Desdemona. Yes, a dozen, and as many more that would store vantage to the world they played for. But I do think it husbands' faults if wives do fall. Say they slack their duties, or pour our treasures into foreign laps, else break out in peevish jealousies, throwing restraint upon us, or say they strike us, or scant our former having in spite. What is it they do when they change us for others? Is it sport? I think it is. And doth affection breed it? I think it doth. And is frailty that possess? It is so too. And have we not affections? Desires for sport and frailty as men have? Then let them use us well, else let them know the ills we do. Their ills instruct us so.
Thank you for that, Sarah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm sorry for being late again.
It's all right, no worries. We know you've come from a long way to be with us today via live.
Yeah, I'm glad the connection's working all right. It's not.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant, and you look lovely. So, why don't we start, see if any of the comments flow through for a bit. Why 2 Shakespeares today?
So the second one I know pretty well, so I've not done it for a while, so I kind of wanted to kind of dust that off, I suppose, because it is probably one of my favourites, definitely. It's certainly one of my favourite scenes. And the first one I've always liked the idea of doing, and I think because it's such a renowned, famous monologue, I've always sort of shied away from it a little bit. But I find the overall sentiment of it, with all the grandeur removed, pretty harrowing. So harrowing, by the way, not heroin. Harrowing. So I wanted to. So I really wanted to sort of just do it, because I'd always kind of wanted to do it in some capacity. So I thought this is kind of like a nice opportunity for it to be a very sort of stripped back, very intimate. Yeah, very intimate way of doing it. So
It's one of the most iconic Shakespeares you could perform. So thank you. And Hamlet, then, is he mad? Is he mad?
Sorry?
Hamlet, I said, is Hamlet mad to you? Or is
Hamlet bad?
Mad.
Wasn't that as a character or as a play?
Is he crazy? What do you
think? I think he's obviously an incredibly complex character in a sense. I think he's certainly kind of bad in some regards, as in I feel the way he willingly projects his troubles onto the people around him, particularly the women, for example, Ophelia, who I think is, a pretty fascinating character on her own merit. But I think particularly that monologue, I think a lot of his soliloquies, I think they address a lot of psychological themes that are still incredibly relevant and incredibly current. So I don't think he's particularly good. I know it sounds like a really cliche answer, like a bit of a cop out, but I don't think he's like particularly good or bad in such stark terms. I think there are elements of him that are certainly pretty terrible.
3D.
Yeah. But
No, definitely. I completely agree. No, it's one of the most controversial, complex characters out there.
Yeah.
We've got Mimo, who's saying, well done, Sarah, some lovely work with the text. And then he said, how is Hong Kong? Is there a theatre scene?
Is what, sorry?
Is there a theatre scene in Hong Kong?
Oh, is there a theatre scene? I believe there is. There's certainly, there's certainly a contemporary theatre scene somewhere, because I signed up for improv groups a while back that I never followed up. So there's one. There is certainly one. There's also a lot of drama societies at universities in Hong Kong, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So unfortunately haven't had a chance to engage much in the theatre scene because I've been pretty busy teaching drama and English, which is completely different. So, when you're teaching a group of 4-year-olds, it's pretty different to doing Hamlet.
No, of course. And we actually went to the same university, didn't we? Tell me, what was your favourite part of Royal Holloway?
That's a difficult one. I'd certainly say it's hard to say a specific show or moment, because I did a fair few. I'd probably say when I did, just specifically from performance experiences, I'd say Angels in America.
Nice.
Was probably, it's the first time that I'd been given a lead role in something at university, and I played half the kit, and she was such a great character to just get your teeth into, to coin a phrase, which is not coin a phrase. But yeah, she was a really good character. I think she was definitely my favourite.
Yeah, it's
iconic
play again there.
Yeah.
Definitely. And is there anything you'd like to give a plug or a little shout out while you are live with everyone?
A plug or a shout out?
So, open
the Can I give a shout out to Ethereal Theatre? Or is that like already? They're already on it. But
Thank you.
shout out to Ethereal for letting me on.
No, of course, we love having you. And what's your dream role, or is there anything that you would just die to play?
Tell me what, sorry.
That's all right. Is there any dream role or anything that you're dying to play?
So many. Lady Macbeth would be fantastic.
Nice.
Who's the other one? Miss Hannigan in Annie.
Nice.
Would be good. And Madame Thénardier.
Yes.
Yeah. So
some musical theatre.
A lot.
Definitely. No, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us and coming on. I'll just see if any more comments. We've got Mimo back saying, I was in the show with Sarah. He's talking about Angels in America. She was incredible to share a stage with. So,
that's nice. Thank you.
Just wait a minute to see if any more comments come through. Pop on my classic elevator music while we wait. Thank you. A random playlist I found on Spotify.
How's it been so far? Has it been good?
It's been really good. We had Scott on yesterday. If anyone missed him, then you can still watch his live stream on our channel. That was really exciting, really good fun. Singing some Be More Chill, some musical theatre. So yeah. That was
Yeah.
great.
I'll be sure to watch that. I'll be sure to watch that.
Sorry?
So I'll be sure to watch it.
Yes, make
Maybe
sure to
today.
join. Everybody, keep watching. Join us. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
That's
Sorry for being late again.
That's all right. Bye now. Bye.
Bye. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Okay, everyone.
Politicians, scientists, and even celebrities all want us to practice social distancing. It means no coming into contact with people unless you need to. So no more visitors at your house, visiting other people's houses, going to restaurants, parties, pubs, clubs, sporting events. You get the idea. If you can work from home, the government says you should, and your employer should help you do this. If you absolutely can't work from home, then avoid busy travel times. You can go out for a walk and buy essentials, but you need to stay at least 2 meters from everyone else. Imagine you're holding a big broom. You'll be the correct distance away if you can't touch anyone with it. Now, the people who need to practice social distancing the most are the over 70s, anyone with an underlying health condition, and pregnant women. But really, everyone should do it to stop the virus from spreading and reduce the pressure on health services. Because if you limit the contact you have with others, you're reducing your chances of catching the virus and passing it on to someone else.
Okay, and I'm just trying to bring Siobhan in for us all. Hi, Siobhan.
Hello.
Hi there. Can you pop your video camera on for us?
Hold on. Can you turn it on for me?
Don't know how. Don't know how to do that.
Just a minute, everyone. We have audio. Ooh, hello.
Yeah. Honestly, I had to do it myself, like literally. Can you see me?
I can see a ring light.
Oh, you can see. Are you loving it? Let's see. You can see my ring light and my technician who's about to get fired.
That's alright.
Should I do it?
That's no. Just a moment. How's everyone doing in the comments? Sound off if you're having fun. There we go. Perfect. Hello. Oh, just pop your audio on. Just some technical difficulties, guys. Hello.
Oh, see, I love to keep you awake.
There you go. There we go. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for coming on today with us.
My pleasure. I made it eventually.
How?
You guys could see an American apartment.
Yeah, definitely. How is it in New York?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's great. It's amazing. It kind of lives up to its hype. Obviously, at the moment, strange time, but there's guests everywhere.
Definitely. And how many monologues have you got for us today?
So, I am doing 2 monologues today, but I also have a very special little surprise. My roommate is a fabulous musical theatre performer, actor, singer extraordinaire. So she's going to give us a couple of songs as well.
Amazing. That's so exciting. A little free demo. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to you to do your first one, and then I will let you just run the show and you can introduce your friend.
Great. Thank you so much.
That's all right. And over to you.
When I was a girl, my father held a ball. I'm his only living child, so he wanted to make a good match for me. He invited dozens of young lords to task. I didn't want to go, but he dragged me to the ballroom. And it was wonderful. None of the boys noticed how mulish and tall I was. They shoved each other and threatened to duel when they thought it was their turn to dance. They whispered in my ear how they wanted to marry me and take me back to their castles. My father smiled at me and I smiled at him. I've never been so happy. Till I saw a few of the boys sniggering. And then they all started to laugh. They couldn't keep the game going any longer. They were toying with me. Brienne the Beauty, they called me. Great joke. And then I realized I was the ugliest girl alive. A great lumbering beast. I tried to run away, but Renly Baratheon took me in his arms. Don't let them see your tears, he told me. They're nasty little shits, and nasty little shits aren't worth crying over. He danced with me, and none of the other boys could say a word. Renly was the king's brother, after all. He didn't love me. He didn't want me. He danced with me because he was kind and didn't want to see me hurt. He saved me from being a joke from that day until his last day. And I couldn't save him in return. Nothing is more hateful than failing to protect the one you love. One day, I will avenge King Renly. That was a piece from Game of Thrones. Now I'm going to introduce to you my wonderful friend, a very talented Maggie Margaret Rhodes. Woo!
Hello. Thanks for having an American on. I'll be singing Diamond Heart by Lady Gaga first, so we'll do a pop rock first. So here we go. Young wild American, looking to be something. Out of school, going for 100 or 2. Some that soul broke me in, wrecked all my innocence. I'll just keep going. The stance is on you. 1, 5, 10, lay a million on me before the end of this song. Young American, come on, baby, do you have a girlfriend? Right on me a million. I'm not flawless, but I've got a diamond heart. Oh, I might not be flawless, but you know I've got a diamond heart. Oh, I might not be flawless, but you know I've got a diamond heart. Head full of Jameson, girls playing bad 'cause it doesn't pay to be good. A cool king made me laugh. Daddy's girl never good enough. I'll just keep going. Resistance is on you. 1, 5, 10, lay a million on me before the end of this song. Young American, come on, baby, do you have a girlfriend? Rain on me a million. I'm not flawless, but I've got a diamond heart. Oh, I might not be flawless, but you know I've got a diamond heart. Oh, I might not be flawless, but you know I've got a diamond heart. Diamond heart.
I'm sorry, Bud. That was rude of me, wasn't it? Bud, let me introduce you to my friend, the Black Mamba. Black Mamba? This is Bud. You know, before I picked that little fella up, I looked him up on the internet. Fascinating creature, the Black Mamba. Listen to this. In Africa, the saying goes, in the bush, an elephant can kill you, a leopard can kill you, and a black mamba can kill you. But only with the Black Mamba, and this has been true in Africa since the dawn of time, is death sure. Hence its handle, Death Incarnate. Pretty cool, huh? Its neurotoxic venom is one of nature's most effective poisons, acting on the nervous system, causing paralysis. The venom of the Black Mamba can kill a human being in 4 hours, if, say, bitten on the ankle or the thumb. However, a bite to the face or torso can bring death from paralysis within 20 minutes. Now, you should listen to this part because this part concerns you. The amount of venom that can be delivered from a single bite can be gargantuan. You know, I've always really liked that word, gargantuan. I so rarely have an opportunity to use it in a sentence. If not treated quickly with antivenom, 10 to 15 milligrams can be fatal to human beings. However, the Black Mamba can deliver as much as 100 to 400 milligrams of venom from a single bite. Now, in these last agonizing minutes of your life that you have left, let me answer the question you asked me earlier. Right in this moment, the biggest I feel is regret. Regret that maybe the greatest warrior I ever met her into a bushwhacking scrub alky piece of shit like you. That woman deserved better. That was from Kill Bill. And speaking of better women, we're gonna finish up with one last little maneuver through the living room with Maggie again. Hey again, Maggie.
Hi. Okay, this one is from a little known show called Wicked. So if you at home know it, please sing along. Did that really just happen? Have I actually understood? This weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent that could help me meet the wizard if I make good. So I'll make good. When I meet the wizard, once I prove my worth, and then I meet the wizard, what I waited for since birth, and with all his wizard wisdom, by my looks he won't be blinded. Do you think the wizard is dumb, or like Munchkin, so small-minded? No, he'll say to me, I see who you truly are, a girl on whom I can rely, and that's how we'll begin, the wizard and I. Once I'm with the wizard, my whole life will change. 'Cause once you're with the wizard, no one thinks you're strange. No father is not proud of you. No sister acts ashamed. And all of us has to love you. And by the wizard you're acclaimed. And this gift or this curse I have inside, maybe at last I'll know why. As we work hand in hand, the wizard and I. And one day he'll say to me, Alphaba, a girl who is so superior, shouldn't a girl absurd degree seem fixated on your verdigris. Would it be alright by you if I degreenify you? And though of course that's not important to me, alright, why not? I'll reply, oh what a pair we'll be, the wizard and I. Yes, what a pair we'll be, the wizard and unlimited. My future is unlimited. And I just had a vision, almost like a prophecy. I know it sounds truly crazy, and true, the vision's hazy. But I swear someday there'll be a celebration throughout us. It's all to do with me. And I'll stand there with the wizard, feeling things I've never felt. And though I'd never show it, I'd be so happy I could melt. And so it will be for the rest of my life, and I'll want nothing else till I die. Held in such high esteem, when people see me, they will scream. For half of Oz's favorite team, the wizard and
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
Pleasure.
That was gorgeous, both of you.
Thank you.
That's all right.
We filled up as much time as possible so we don't have to answer a bunch of interview questions.
That's no worries. We've just got some comments saying dreamy voice, and Lou saying that Hamlet was a great choice and you totally did it justice, from Spat for Sarah. And then we've got Mimo saying, great first monologue, Vaughan. What a fantastic choice for you. Also, can we talk about how much of a different actor you are, since Art said 10 out of 10.
I know.
We've got Lou again saying, excellent, Shub Shub. We've got Go Siobhan from Kieran Bithell. And some virtual clapping from Kieran. So yeah, I will just ask you one question before I let you guys go. Dream roles, both of you.
I have so many for me. I'd love to do Lady Macbeth on the National Theatre stage. I would love to do a comedy like something like 30 Rock or Sunny in Philadelphia. The ultimate dream role is I'm writing a script for a sitcom, and would be to get that made and star in it.
Nice. Very nice. Goals.
I would be Medea someday. I think that's a great role in terms of plays, but for musicals, I'd love to be a witch in Into the Woods.
Iconic. Amazing role. Thank you so much for performing for both of us, both of you guys. We've loved having you.
Thank you, darling. Thanks for having us.
That's all right. Is there anything you want to plug really quickly?
I don't know. There are a few things going on at the moment, but obviously with everything going on in the world, there's been delays. So just if you follow me on Instagram, I'll be posting some stuff once I know what's going on in the world.
No, follow them both on Instagram. I will let you guys go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, and there we go. So we are just coming up to our final act of the evening, which is Amy Loughton, who I'm going to call in a moment to join us. I'm just going to play our final break of the evening. Hello to everyone who is still watching. Thank you for staying with us. Our last thing I'm just going to do is advertise tomorrow, which is going to be the first of our exercise classes. So get fit with us. So at 12 tomorrow at midday, we've got the amazing Olivia Stone, who's going to be doing a family-friendly Zumba class. So everyone make sure that you are watching that. I'll be back as well to MC it for you all. So make sure that you take part in some Zumba. And then we've also got the lovely Kira Waterfield, who has kindly sent us through one of her yoga flows that we will be streaming for you at 4 p.m. for everyone to join. So I'm just going to play a little video of all that info while I get our final guest.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just joined by Amy. Hello. If you just want to flip your phone around for us, then we can...
Oh, sorry, I'm doing a landscape. I thought that was good.
That's all right. I think if you do landscape, you have to lock it that way. It's up to you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. It's all been brilliant. It's wicked. Well done, everybody.
Thank you. I've been seeing you following along, last but not least.
You've been chatting away. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting very technical.
I know. Oh, it's all kicking off over here. All the live streams. So, how many monologues have you got for us today?
I just got the one.
Yeah, that's no worries.
Yeah. It's one full piece. Mark asked me, which was lovely, and thank you guys for the ask. And I just went for a piece that I've written myself, actually.
Amazing.
And it is a spoken word piece, so it's something slightly different to what we've had so far. Just switching it up.
No, of course. Well, I will leave it to you, and you can go ahead when you are ready.
Amazing. Thanks very much. We've both always been short, me and my brother. But I have always weighed more. I'd eat the yolk while he liked the white bit, or rush to get the fat off my chops before my mum did. It'd even out with me doing the washing up for 12 days straight just to get 45 minutes on the Game Boy as reward. Or watching Rainbow Bear go through the latest WWF moves just because he was bored. You know, the usual sibling politics. Fucked up, but friendly. And fundamentally, I could always just sit on him. There wasn't much he could do about that, despite that quick wit in him. He fidgets now. His eyes dart through you. Livid. Searching. Maybe comforted by the fact that the world's turned out to be just as fucked up as he predicted. He's 18 months older. He's a gooner. A knower. A charmer. Laced in sarcastic armour. He looks a little bit like somebody shortened David Bowie and then just put a massive nose on him. But he's underfed and he's struggling. And I'm just watching from the sidelines, no idea how to find him. He had a baby with his best friend and now he can't see her. I mean, it's never that simple, but I got to start this somewhere. They called her Faith. True story. The irony is hard to lose. And now he watches her move out of reach through courts and ancient language loops. And our vocabulary as a family changes. We're including words like custodial and affidavit. But he reckons it's not an easy one to sum up, like. I guess it starts with a difference of opinion, like of communication style, just being told I didn't hold her right straight out the fucking hospital. Yeah, I raised my voice, trying and failing to mask the fear of being a new parent, fucking petrified to admit what you don't know, and it ends in a stalemate, this never-ending wait for a court date, the reminder that you're less without your name on that certificate. It's travelled its way through mediations, blatant lies, accusations, visits which are supervised. 4 years later, the forward steps don't even count. It rolls on. And this injustice gnaws through you. I just feel myself harden more than I ever thought my body could while standing tall. Each step, this darker move towards an empty, soulless, burnt-out call. My face fights against this constant scream that lives behind my eyes and beneath my soul. And then people ask you how you are when they've got no actual desire to hear the truth at all. Because when I give it, it's the same refrain. They're charred, by this instant ricochet, unsettled by this stench of pain as it fills the room and stinks out the place. I've got an antisocial anger, and it's got nowhere to belong, so I just keep it in my fidgets and in my broken bones. I watch my mates squirm at my present failings, try to dance through the same stock answer sayings. I'm waiting on a court date, yeah, it's all got a bit complicated, mate. Oh, because the system's fucked and she's automatically believed. Yeah, I tried citizens' advice, yeah, thanks. And sometimes I've got space to navigate what my mind tells me their mind can take, but so often my filter's gone. I spit, I rage, I prod, push on, see them squirm, pinned by my conviction, take a bit of fucking pleasure in that recognition. We all judge as they fade. The women sat on the edge of these struggling men, it doesn't matter how hard we try not to. We advise, uninvited, steady the next loop that they're asked to jump through, but don't bring them any closer. They're standing on their own, and we just watch them move away, a little step each day. Fucking great leap on some if Fathers for Justice had their way. They were the only support that arrived for him, no legal aid, and they did it shouting loudly. The 60s feminists got us in this mess, and mothers are the enemy. Makes me livid. I'm losing him. He's walking like a failure, carrying empty hands and empty eyes, and his feet are heavy, and he drags them, each step heavier with lies. He can't hold his own through legalese. He can't keep his temper in court when he needs. He can't quell this pit of please, please, won't you let me hold her? And there's a silent, hopeful grandma, her lips sewn up by lawyers. She cannot win. She can't eat, can't sleep, can't fathom it. They're all getting so thin. Each disappointed look, a punch, an extra weight that eats away. Each conversation, disbelief or disappointment jumps in the pile of disarray. He's not a fan of himself or himself as a father. He can't keep it going. It's too hard. It gets harder. He can't fight, can't see the answer. He just stares down at his feet. But at night, she comes to smile and calm him. The roles already reversed as her eyes gently hold him. And he sees it's right that she should know him. He's not ready for defeat. So he moves to truth, to study, to breathe in, to love, to hope, to anything needed. He reads, scours, learns. He's reaching once more into that breach. So he starts to dream that she's getting closer. It's just awake that he's petrified to dare. Asleep, he lets himself jump forward, see those arms out, open, bare, to receive the love that's coming, that laugh, that smile, that touch, that stare, to begin again and welcome her to all that's waiting here, to a father clear in purpose, to a fighter pure and true, to a warrior on a warpath marching endlessly to you, to an overeager auntie full of tiny memories of tickles and blanket sausage rolls. We wait, filling with stories, each one desperate to be told, to an imagined future of a bright day in the garden, to us gathered in the sun, to a Nan who is pure feeder. She can't help herself. She won't stop until she's done. And we'd play and watch and try not to stare as we count each second you're here, in our home, in our hearts, this real life, living blessing, bringing life back to our smiles again, that final piece that we've been missing. And then time would pass until your visits aren't specific. You just rock up on a Tuesday like there was nothing in it, for a squash after school, or a sandwich in front to CBeebies, for a nap or a cuddle or a silly voiced reading. And we'd get to know your teachers, and we'd sit through your assemblies, and we'd help you with your numbers or watch you be the best star in the nativity. We'd try you out on olives. We'd know which sweets drive you fucking mental. We'd dance about to Paul Simon or make craft mess on the kitchen table. We'd know the smell of your pyjamas, the shape of the back of your head. We'd know that you're not a fan of teeth brushing and you bloody hate going to bed. We'd know you. We'd afford to. Not perfect in this fantasy, but yeah. That's that one.
That was absolutely amazing, Amy.
It's a bit different to the rest of the evening. I don't want to end it on a downer, I'm sorry.
No, it was amazing, honestly. We've got some comments flooding in from everyone. Got Abby Blythe, who said, "Go on, Loughton, bloody brilliant." There.
Thank you, darling.
And we've got Mark again saying, "Absolutely speechless, Loughton."
Cheers, gang. Thank you.
It was absolutely amazing. Is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to shout out?
No, not really. Just to say thank you to you guys for trying to get us all together. It's amazing you've turned this around so quickly. And what other people were saying about volunteering locally, I think there's crazy times going on, but local seems to be the way to do it. Mutual aid groups in your area. When you think you've got nothing to offer, you'd be amazed what you can do, even from the comfort of home. So yeah. We'll get through it.
Absolutely, we will all get through it, and that's exactly what things like this are for, so that everyone can just band together for a couple hours and just have a good time. We've got Abigail Rice saying that was absolutely beautiful. We have Luke Kendon, it's still on, saying incredible, Amy. We have we have Mason Nias, I think I'm saying that right, saying wonderful, and Chris Porter saying Amy, legend.
Thanks, gang. It's very lovely.
That's all right. Any dream roles or anything?
What's that, darling?
Any dream role or anything that you want to play?
I've been thinking about this while you were talking about it, and I've had 2 hours and I can't come up with something. I think I'd do anything Gary Owen's written in a heartbeat, like in a second. I'm a big fan of his writing, and when everything chills out, there's a beautiful new day from him coming on at the National, Romeo and Julie, which I'm sure will be brilliant. But yeah, I'll do whatever's good, do you know what I mean? Something that changes the world, please, that'd be nice.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's a really nice sort of philosophy, I think, to have. I think that's all we've got time for, unless there's anything else you want to shout out or say really quick.
Just want to say thank you. Thank you to you guys for getting it all together, and other actors who fancy to go. It's easier than you think. I'm ridiculous and technologically insane, but I've managed it. So yeah, I'd encourage more people.
Yes, please do. If you are one of our people watching or you've watched throughout the day, please do let us know. Please add to our monologue slams or whatever. It doesn't have to be a monologue. And let us know. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We're going to be carrying this on until the isolation's lifted, if possible. But we need you guys to help it go, keep it going. So, yeah. Thanks so much for coming on, Amy. That was marvellous.
Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone watching. You're very lovely. Well done, guys. Cheers.
Bye now.
Bye.
So much talent, and it's just amazing that we get to showcase it all this way. Tomorrow we have those exercise classes coming up, so please make sure that you are going to come back and join us. That's 12 for Zumba and 4 for yoga, so make sure you are there. You don't have to be a couch potato every single day we're in isolation, so join us. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and that you get notified of everything that Ethereal Theatre are doing, so that you won't miss out when we go live again in future. Leave us some comments, and this is me, Dana Hudson, signing off. And as always, just stay safe and stay healthy. Bye, everyone!